Hi guys, I'm sitting in the cabin. I was going to walk down to the harbour, but I've decided to stay in. I went down there for a bit today. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you very much for all of you that are on my blog, that are following me. I'm ready to get out there in my tent and climb up cliffs that freak me out and swim in cold seas and challenge myself and get in my cozy homestead at night. Um, for those of you that are just joining my blog, um, I wanted to tell my life story. I write poetry. I've been through some things in my life, and I know mental health is a big thing. It was for my mom, and it is for some people. And I was working for the RSPCA when I got made redundant because of COVID. And every year I go to see my 8 grandchildren in America for a month, and that got cancelled because of COVID. And then my partner and I of 7 years, we decided to, have a break from each other and stuff. And I bought a tent, a big Agnes tent, and nicknamed it Aggie. And I started at Kynance Cove because it was such a special place for me. And I plodded on to Westwood Ho and actually tripped on a rock and broke my ankle. So it took me about almost 7 hours to get out of the cliff using my walking poles, which everyone should walk with, by the way, I think. They're really good, as crutches to get myself out, and then was able to get to the hospital the next morning after spending the night in Westwood Ho cricket ground. And a friend of mine, her children's godmother, Sue, took me to the hospital, and they found my ankle was broken. So I had to go back to Bath, and to go from walking 9 to 20 miles a day with an 18-kilogram backpack and living in my tent to finding myself with a broken ankle and a cast and in a wheelchair. Everything happens for a reason. And then on crutches, it made me realize how truly lucky I am that I'm able to go out there and plod on. I'm 53 years old, and it made me think of people that are watching my blog that can't go out, people that used to go out that can't do it anymore, and people that haven't seen some of the coastline. When I was in America for 20 years, I dreamed about the rolling hills and sheep, and I just wanted to come home. And 14 years ago, came home with my youngest daughter, and I've got 2 children, a daughter and a son, and 8 grandchildren in America who I love with all my heart. And for 14 years, I've gone back there every year for a month to see them. My heart's in both places, but it is what it is. We all have challenges, and I wish I could magic them here or make us all be closer. But anyway, so about 10 days after the cast came off, I went back to Westwood Ho. The doctor said I could do 2 to 3 miles a day, and before you know it, I'm walking into Woolacombe, and it's like my body is. I was in my happy place because I love the sand, and I was looking at shells on the beach and the sand, and I looked up and suddenly there's Woolacombe, and I realized I'd walked about 7 miles. And I was like, oh my gosh. And slowly my ankle built its way up to, walking 7, and now up to about 17 miles has been my furthest. So the plan was to go to up towards Weston-super-Mare and then Portishead and then on to Wells. Well, obviously Wells got locked down, so I got to Weston-super-Mare and I thought I can't really go up that way. So I decided to come back to Kynance Cove, which is where I began the journey in the first place. And I plodded up from Kynance Cove towards Weymouth, and I made it to Weymouth. And then obviously Wales got locked down, and at that point, not Wales, sorry, England got locked down. So I decided the right thing to do, because everybody else was on lockdown. It wouldn't be fair for me to carry my tent and, carry on walking through people's home villages and different places trying to get water or trying to charge my battery, not knowing if cafes were going to be open or campsites, or nobody could really offer me a place to take a shower or anything because everybody's, isolating and stuff. So I was offered by a lovely lady called Julie. She said, if you can get up to Brighton, I've got a cabin in my garden and you can stay there for a month in my cabin, and you can do some day plodding, because obviously we're allowed to do daily exercises. So I'm in the cabin. This is the cabin here. And obviously I've got to do the bit. While I've been here, I've walked from Newhaven to Worthing, and I've walked from Newhaven to Hastings on different days. So the section between Worthing and Hastings I've done, but obviously I've got to go from Worthing back to Weymouth, because that's a section I jumped like a frog, jumping all over the place. That's the section I jumped come lockdown in this cabin. Anyway, so that's my plan. So when I leave here, I'll be plodding on from Worthing and going towards Weymouth. And what I'm going to do when I get to Weymouth is I can't afford, I'm trying to raise funds to carry on, and I'm trying to raise funds for this incredible charity, Mind, for mental health. So it would be just insane for me to try and buy winter gear. So I'm going to go home at Christmas to see my daughter and friends and family, and go and dig my little garden shed up at home where all my winter kit is. Well, not at my house, at my ex-partner's house. We're still friends. Anyway, so he's got my stuff in the shed, so I've got to go and get, winter kit and things that I'm going to need to survive the winter, and also a better tent, because Aggie, my big Agnes tent, it's not really strong enough, and I was going to get another big Agnes, but they're quite expensive, and so I think I'm deciding on a different tent. I'll show you that when it comes, and we'll check it out, but it's still going to be called Aggie. The funny thing is, when people see me plodding on and they read my t-shirt, Tracy and Aggie's Epic Hike, and they're looking around for a little dog because they think that Aggie must be my dog, but actually, obviously, it's my tent. So it's been exciting, it's been challenging, it's been scary at times. Not scary being in a tent by myself or anything. I've slept everywhere, graveyards, you name it, I've slept there. It's scary sometimes. I'm out of my comfort zone when I'm climbing up a cliff, and I'm literally, clenching onto the side of the cliff, and I'm scared of heights, and I'm scared of falling, actually. I realised that something happened in my childhood that made me afraid of sort of heights and falling. But I'm finding out that I'm strong and I'm capable, and I want to inspire other people that, if you've been like me and you've been through many things in your life, don't let anyone tell you that you can't get through it. I'm surprised at how strong that I found myself in situations and everything, and I think those of you, especially the women, sorry guys, I'm not being sort of sexist here, but some of the women that say, oh, how do you do that, or you're amazing, but literally, if you found yourself in this situation, I'm telling you, you could do it. I mean, when I'm trying to get up a cliff top, I envision my children or my grandchildren are up there, and I use every bit of strength that I have, to get there, very carefully. And yeah, and sometimes at night when when you finish plodding, you just can't wait to get your tent up, and it's like a little homestead. It's kind of like when you walk in your house and you kick off your slippers, and you're like, I just want to sit in my comfy chair. I mean, us crazies that do this, we just can't wait to get in our little homestead, set it up, and get some food on the boil and stuff, and just fall asleep. And people say, how many miles do you do a day, and da 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 da, and you think, well, it all depends on the terrain, and it all depends on how much sleep you had the night before. It all depends if you're in a place you're really not supposed to be and you want to get up early. And obviously the winter has come now, so it gets dark. It's only not even 5 o'clock, almost 5, and it's dark already. So it all depends on all of those kind of things. And in the winter I'm aiming for about 10 miles a day, maybe more. It depends on the weather again. It's just making sure you have the right kit, the right sleeping bag, the right mat, and just plodding on. And it's like in life, like a cliff is like a challenge in life, and finding a place to put the tent at night is a challenge in life. It's just like everything that we go through as people that live on the cul-de-sac in their little house with their children and this, that and the other. Not someone like me that's living in a tent, but it's all challenges and all things like, how am I going to get through this, or is this going to be okay? You just sort of take a chance. But the absolutely amazing thing is to see you come around a corner and to see another cove and the coastline and the wild sea, and waking up and seeing a deer in front of your tent eating its grass while you're eating your porridge, looking up and seeing the moon and Venus, and is just like unexplainable. And I'm sure that other coast walkers that are doing it, I'll say hi to Penny, who's raising money for Alzheimer's, and Chris, who's raising money for Pudsey, Chris the coast walker. And then there's Chris at Walk to UK, the paratrooper, who is just phenomenal. He's been going for years, and he's just done a lot for his charity to do with veterans of wars, I think. I can't think of the name, I'm really sorry. But anyway, we all choose to do these crazy things, and we're just plodding on and trying to do right by ourselves and give people the inner strength that we have to be able to do this, and also to raise money for our charities. Yeah. So anyway, let's hope that the lockdown's over soon and I can carry on. Thank you very much for Julie for giving me this absolutely incredible cabin to stay in, and for keeping me company. She's been very good. The COVID, it's all been COVID friendly and everything else. Dettol's everywhere and everything, but yeah. Anyway, so it is what it is, and the mask. We're living in Maskville, aren't we? It's like if somebody had said to us years ago, we're going to be walking around afraid to hug each other and wearing masks, you'd be like, are you nuts? But anyway, yeah. So I am going to just relax. Maybe I might walk down to the harbour, I don't know. But thank you for listening to my now 11 minutes of rambles. And thanks for all your support. And, when this is over, I've already written my life story. And when this is over, what's happened on my journey will be added onto the book. So I know the book is going to be called Plodding On, da 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 da, and I don't know what the da 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 is going to be yet, but yeah, any ideas? But anyway, thank you so much. I'm just a normal person like you guys, and I'm just me, and I appreciate all of you. I really do, and lots of love. Thank you very much. Bye.